29 this day next week.
Thank you. The first rank. Mieszko Fortunski to break.
And he'll get us off and running. Race to 5, as always. Chris Melling alongside me, and that's the way to start a match, Chris.
Yeah, perfect break there. Nicely on the one ball. And this is a perfect split. Couldn't ask for this any better.
Well, Tkach might be getting a sense of deja vu already, because this was pretty much the story of her match against Naoki Oi. Everything was going exactly the way the Japanese player wanted it to. And she'll just have come into this wanting to get a bit more involved, get a few racks on the board, feel she's really part of this tournament, which I think for any player you don't until you've started to register on the scoreboard a bit. But I did see her after that 5-0 defeat, and to say that she didn't look demoralised would be an understatement. She took what had gone on very well and seemed to just accept that there wasn't really a great deal more she could have done about it.
Yeah, Kristina didn't play bad. She just didn't really get the opportunity. Sometimes it goes like that.
She had a dry break. She scratched when fluking a ball early on in another rack. It was just a couple of little mishaps like that that enabled Oi to freeze her out. He still had to play very well, and boy did he.
Mieszko back in prime position. Just going to play a nice little stop shot here on the 4 to leave a good angle on the 6 ball to get to the 7. And this is a great start by Mieszko. Well, he's landed slightly wrong side of the 7. And the amount of times that happens when you're playing is unbelievable. Such a big area to land in, and he's landed short. Shouldn't cause him any problems. And this 9 ball to take the first rack.
Well, Tkach will have had a stark reminder earlier of what a tough school she's in here. Fortunski has rammed that point home a little more, taking the opening rack with a break and run. He leads 1-0. Now, as we were saying, Naoki Oi has had another 5-0 win over Billy Thorpe. Let's hear from him.
Naoki, 10 racks played, 10 racks won. Yeah. It's easy, this game.
Yeah, easy game, unbelievable. Maybe super lucky. Now, no go to the outside. Maybe to go outside in the car, me, I die.
You're happy staying in the bubble with us?
Yeah, very lucky, no? Yeah, easy ball, many. Yeah, to break good rolls now.
You've been practicing here for a couple of days now, watching the tournament. Have you enjoyed your time here so far?
Yeah, enjoy, yes.
Well, 4 more matches, are you confident of some more 5-0 results?
Yeah, わからないですけど, good luck.
I think everyone else is going to need good luck against him, the way he started the day. But Niels Fayen has taken the opening rack of his match against Oi, which is going on the other table at the moment. So finally someone has managed to put a dent in Oi's flying start. Can Tkach put a dent in Fortunski's good start here?
That's a better break there from Kristina. Hit them solid. Made the one in the side. Wing ball in the corner.
And you would say across the 2 matches, Chris, this is probably the first real chance she's had to show us what she can do.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was a good break there. She's got a tricky opening shot on the 3 ball. I do expect her to make it. but holding position to get on the 4 is not going to be easy, and neither is getting position from the 4 to the 5. May have to play a little cannon on the 8 ball here just to hold the cue ball. Well, I'll say a little cannon. She hit it with a lot of authority, but played it to absolute perfection.
She's 22 years of age, comes from Moscow, started playing at the age of 8. She doesn't look much older than that now. But she showed her potential very early on. Only 10 years of age. She finished 3rd in the Russian ladies 8-ball under-18 tournament. Her first ever event on the Euro Tour. She was only 15 and she got all the way to the final. And it was only Jasmine Ocean that beat her in the end. A couple of years after that, 2016, she had her first win on the Euro Tour in Cyprus. Won another tournament in Albania soon after that. In fact, she's had 7 women's Euro Tour titles. Only Jasmine Ocean has won more. And the most recent of Tkach's 7 came at the Treviso Open in May of 2019.
And I'll tell you what, the shot she just played there on the 4 was a lot more difficult than what it looked. And she's played it to perfection. Lost the cue ball a little bit there. She can still make it, but could have done with being a little bit more to the right to make this 6 ball a lot more easy.
Well, this is going to do her the world of good. As I say, she didn't really have much chance against Oy earlier on. This is really the first good chance she's had. And it looks as though she's going to complete the break and run. And it's not been straightforward, Chris, and that's going to fill her with even more confidence than if they'd broken sweetly and there'd been very little to do.
She's got a very, very good technique. Stays very still on the shot. Stands to the shot before she walks in and delivers it in a dead straight line.
So she had to sit and watch while Fortunski ran out from the break in the opening rack. When she's come to the table, she's done the same herself. So Tkach finally has her first rack of the day at the 7th attempt, and she's level at 1-all. Her teenage years really were just a succession of eyebrow-raising performances. World Junior 9-ball champion in 2017, and even before that, she'd won all 4 disciplines at the Russian Under-18 Championship. She's already won the 8-ball title at the European Championships twice. She's the current holder of that title, actually. She beat Jasmine Ocean to win it for the 2nd time back in 2019. She also won the straight pool division for the 2nd time that week.
Yes, she's a class act, and it won't be long before she'll be lifting the World Ladies 9-ball titles.
Well, she's like so many players, isn't she? She was starting to get a bit of momentum in her career, and then COVID came along and stopped her in her tracks, because she was starting to win some of the lesser tournaments in the States just before everything shut down. She's already been a tournament winner this year, in fact, since the resumption. She came through 7 matches on the 1-loss side on her way to winning a tournament in Texas.
Yeah, she's always over in the USA. Playing a lot of tournaments, gaining a lot of experience, and I think she's played quite a few money matches against the top players, and she's won a few of them.
Well, she played a big match streamed online. I think it was called the Siberian Challenge against Fedor Gorst late last year. She was given a big start as a sort of handicap in the match. I think it was race to 25, and she pushed him fairly close in the end. Great exposure, though, playing a player of that quality.
Yeah, Fedor, the current world 9-ball champion. Russia's throwing some top quality players out there. And you can just see when the women are playing in this tournament, along with like Kelly Fisher, Kristina, and we're going to see Jasmine Alshan in a few days' time. They're not frightened of beating these guys, and they're well capable of it.
Extension, please.
May have gotten away with this one. Not quite sure if she has left it. She's left a glorious opportunity for Mieszko to run out and take a 2-1 lead.
Someone who already has taken a 2-1 lead is Naoki Oi on the other table. Lost the opening rack to Niels Fine, but he's won 2 in a row since then.
Well, I think we can safely say Naoki looks as good as anybody that we've seen at this event.
What, even you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I've played okay. I've not played my best, but I've played pretty good. Hopefully saving my best for the last group.
Yeah, I do agree with you, though. He's been magnificent so far. And we know he likes to joke around and laugh a bit, but underneath it all, he's actually a pretty serious character, certainly when it comes to his game. And he hasn't come here just to joke around. He's come here to perform and to try to win the tournament. And he's off to a flying start. Meanwhile, back here, Fortunski with a little bit of figuring out to do.
Probably going to see Mieszko draw the cue
Extension,
ball
please.
just past.
But there was still a bit of work to be done. And he's done it well. So Fortunski looking for his second win in Group 4. He's off to a good start. He leads 2-1. We'll have more in just a moment.
What a shot by Evolution. One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
Sporting events should not be held until there are no new cases.
Well, that's right up there with me. No crowd, but who needs them?
Just in terms of pure potting ability, he's just one of the best we've ever seen.
Oh my word. Incredible.
What a power-packed partnership it is. Start the engraving process.
Two of the rising stars, the 20-somethings of the pool world, going head-to-head on day 4 of the Predator Championship League in Milton Keynes. It's Mieszko Fortunski leading by 2 racks to 1 against Kristina Tkach, but she has the break in the 4th. She was struggling with the break a bit earlier on, Chris, in her first match earlier today, but she seems to have figured it out a bit better now.
Yeah, she's hit that good. The only thing she's not doing is hitting it with a bit more pace. A little bit more pace and that one ball would have come over to the side rail and she could have made it. Now she's left with a safety or a bank into the corner. Got to be careful if she's playing safe that she don't knock this 3 ball in. And it just stays out, and that was the danger in playing that shot. One more roll and that was dropping and putting Kristina in trouble.
I fancied her to play the bank shot there, Chris. Would you have done?
100% I would have played the bank shot. It was automatic position to hold for the 3 ball, and he was virtually guaranteed to snooker your opponent. There's a good chance he may kick this 3 ball in here. Well, he needs a little bit of luck, and I think he hasn't got it. And he's left this on.
Well, when she got a chance in rack 2, she took it very effectively. And if she can get through to the 1 to pot it, which I'm fairly sure she can, then this is an even better chance than that one.
Just may need to play with a touch of left-hand spin, which in turn will throw the 1 ball out to the right. So if it looks like it doesn't go, you can spin this ball in.
Looks better from there though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it clearly goes from there. Well, she's gone for the treble. And that's one way to get it. She actually went for the double in all fairness, but she'll take the treble. Always need a little bit of luck.
Funny that she went for the bank shot there when it seemed a more obvious option the previous time.
Yeah, the bank shot the shot before was the correct shot.
Well, if she is going to make an impact here today, this is the sort of chance she 100% has to capitalise on. You know, it's all very well when you have a defeat like she had earlier against Oy to go back and say to yourself, well, I didn't really get a chance. But that only really means anything if in subsequent matches, when you are getting the openings, you make the most of them. And to be fair, that's what she looks like doing so far in this match.
Yeah, she's got a very deliberate cue action. Cues up to the ball 3 or 4 times. She's got a nice little pause when she pulls the cue back and delivers it in a straight line. All a touch for a easy 9 ball.
So she's been behind twice in this match already. But both times she's hit back in style to catch levels for the second time at 2 racks apiece. What do you think would have been her mindset coming into this, Chris? Because it's a bit of a step up for her. I know she's played a lot of the matches against some of the top men, but to be in a field of this strength maybe is a new level for her. Will she have come here just wanting to get experience from playing so many matches against opponents of this quality, or will what Kelly Fisher has done over the last few days maybe have caused her to reassess her goals for the week.
Well, I think it's actually Kristina's first time in the Matchroom arena on the match table, and it does play totally different to most of the other tables that we play on. They're lighting, the heating. It does make it slide a little bit more. The reaction on the cue ball is a little bit alien to Kristina at the minute, but the more she plays, the more she's going to enjoy it.
It's the fifth rack. Mieszko Fortunski to break.
But win or lose, it's going to be
Scores
great
six.
experience for her going forward.
Yeah, and the signs from this match are infinitely better than what we saw earlier. To be fair, she hardly got a look in there. She's had a couple of look-ins here. She's making the most of it at the moment. 2-2.
Another successful break there from Mieszko, but again, no pot. So he's going to have to play another safety. Will he swing the cue ball a few rails and try and stick it behind the 3 ball, or will he just send the 1 down the table like that?
Earlier today, Chris, you decided that the Japanese juggernaut would be a good nickname for Naoki Oi. Well, he's continuing to power on today. 4-1 up now against Niels Feijen, on the brink of making it 3 wins out of 3. He's played 15 racks and won 14 of them.
Yeah, Naoki's absolutely flying, full of confidence,
Extension called.
and he's not afraid to win.
I don't know if he's come directly from Japan. If he has, he's a great advertisement for jet lag. If this is how you can play after coming all that distance.
Well, one thing that Naoki Oi did, he got here about 4 or 5 days ago.
Oh, right, that makes a difference.
Which is very important. When you're travelling across the world every other week, the jet lag does take effect, but you've got to do all you can to get over it. And if that means you've got to come 5 days early to give yourself a good opportunity to feel right in your match, feel fresh, then he's definitely done the right thing.
Meanwhile, back here, Kristina Tkach has deposited a very nice 1 ball, and she's on the 2. Oh, you can't afford to do that.
And if there's one thing that will let Kristina down, I think she just lacks a little bit of cue power. When you've got to really manoeuvre that cue ball, I just don't think that she's got the stroke to do that shot. That may come in time.
I was going to say, is that something that you feel you have to have the ability to do, or is it something you can develop over the years?
I don't think you have to have it, but you can certainly develop it. It obviously takes a lot of practice. Then, at first glance of watching Kristina, I think she's been coached a lot, because she's technically really, really good. And she pushes the cue through very smoothly. She's very deliberate on a cue action. And you'll find that with a lot of players, that when they're coached and taught how to play, that they don't have certain shots that they can get away with. If you watch Kelly Fisher play, she can manoeuvre that white ball from anywhere.
So this could be a big moment in the match. Tkach had the opportunity to go in front for the first time at 3-2. But it was a bad miss on the 2. She's really learning some hard lessons today. Any mistake, any mishap in both of her matches so far has been punished to the full.
And Mieszko showing Kristina a lot of respect there. It's a very, very tactical shot. A very good tactical shot.
Yeah, wasn't able to complete the run out from there, but certainly keeping the pressure on his young opponent.
She's very good at these though, is Kristina. She's good at kicking the cue ball. Very knowledgeable at 22 years of age. Unfortunately, she's stuck this one up. She's not getting the best of luck. She's not playing bad. It's just one or two little errors that are costing her.
Yep, tiny margins. It can be those little errors, those things where the balls don't run quite the way you hope they will. They can be decisive. Wow.
He missed that by a country mile.
I've seen two bad misses in this rack, but I think that was far worse than the two that Tkach missed.
Yeah, that's up there with one of the worst misses we've seen. I think it was actually harder to miss it than it was to make it. He didn't have to do anything with the cue ball, just pop the ball.
I hope, for the sake of Naoki Oi, that he isn't being paid by the hour here, because he is zipping through his matches. No time at all to win 5-0 and 5-0 in the first two. Now he's seen off the former world champion Niels Feijen by 5 racks to 1. What a fantastic start for him. Already on the brink of a place in the group semi-finals and playing so well.
And this is what's crazy about our game and our sport. Mieszko's just missed a straight in ball, and don't be surprised if he jumps this and makes a 6. He could bank it or cut it in the corner. May go for the bank. He's trebled it. He's got very lucky, and I called it. It just seems to happen so often when you miss an easy ball. You get back to the table, you get lucky, and then this happens. What a roll that is. But we saw Kristina do it earlier. She went for a double and missed it and trebled it.
Classic case of how the luck evens itself out. Two very similar shots where they've had good fortune. But this one is going to be decisive in this rack. So for the third time, Fortunski goes one in front. He leads 3-2.
Yeah, he's going to be delighted to win that rack. That could have got away from him very easy. And he knows he's been very, very fortunate there.
Yeah, with everything that happened there, I think if he goes on to win this match, that could very well be the rack they both look back on as the pivotal moment. It was a strange day from yesterday. He'd played so well on Tuesday and was on the brink of getting through to the group final. Then Kelly Fisher came from 4-1 down to beat him. And yesterday he looked like a player who was still suffering from the hangover of that. He only won 2 of his 6 matches and really was a shadow of the player he'd been the day before.
Yeah, I'm guessing it kind of takes it out of you a little when, like I said before, when you're playing 12, 13 hours a day, every day, if you're not qualifying, it's bound to take it out of you.
Kristina Tkach to break.
We'll have another look at Kristina's break. Trying to pot the wing ball, which is a brown 7, into the right-hand corner. But just watch where the 1 goes. It's been going in the middle of the top rail every time she's broke. She needs to hit this a little bit harder. And she did it a little harder, but very unfortunate not to get an easier chance.
Does she have a 1-5 combination here? Maybe not. Let's bank into the side pocket, maybe.
Well, she can play kind of a two-way shot, which would be to bank the 1 ball into the side pocket and possibly try make the 4 in the same shot. The danger with that is, number 1, you could miss both balls, and number 2, if you do make the 1, the cue ball could slide in behind the 9. So the safety is the order of the day. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It was very important that Kristina blocked that bottom cushion, because if she hadn't, this would have left Mieszko an easy kick shot to hook Kristina behind the 4 and 5. And that's what he's going to try and do here. He's still going to try and do the same thing. The problem with this is, if he doesn't hit this right, the cue ball's going close to the bottom left-hand corner. Played it well. He's left a 1 on. If it's straight, Kristina can't do a great deal with it.
Attention, please.
And this is where you need a little bit of cue power. You've got to pot the 1 ball and draw back 2 or 3 inches, because that 2 ball doesn't go anywhere apart from the top right hand corner. The pot's difficult enough, let alone the position. And that's why she's missed it. She was more interested in the position than the pot. And once again, Mieszko banging with a great chance.
She's missed a few balls from distance. Chris, do you think that's something perhaps to do with the lack of cue power you were talking about? That the fact that she's having to work so hard for position on those shots is costing her the pot?
It can be, yes. Like I said before, that will come, you know, with experience and practice. But that kind of shot, she had to play a real tough pot and screw the ball back for position. And I think that's why she missed it. I think if she just had to pot the ball, I think she would have made it.
Every rack so far has gone to the breaking player. As a result, nobody's been more than 1 in front at any stage. Fortunski couldn't reasonably ask for a better chance than this to change that.
I'm just wondering, as Fortunski overran the position slightly, can he draw it back? Just cannon in the 4 ball, or the 5 ball should I say, and he's played it bad. He couldn't draw it back, and he's disappointed with himself. But this isn't that difficult. As long as he hits the 5 ball into the rail first, he could miss a pocket by a good 6 inches. As long as the pace of the shot is correct, he'll make this. Doesn't want to play it thick. Well, he couldn't have played that any better.
Or could he?
That's unfortunate. I mean, he did need to spin it with a bit of side, but he's potted the 5 ball dead in the centre of the pocket. I mean, he couldn't have potted the ball any better.
You know, we love seeing the excellence and the quality and the precision of these players when everything's going well, but a match like this where things aren't going so straightforward and balls are being missed and there are positional mishaps, it's probably more intriguing, really.
Going to try and kick this in. Is he going to try and kick it 1 or 2 rails? Well, he tried to kick it 1 rail and he stuck it up. And this is Kristina's chance to tie the match up at 3-all. She's going to need the rest. Or is she putting the extension on the back of the cue?
Well, this is a gift, isn't it? And she's got to exploit it. Two very eventful racks in a row here. I said in the previous one, if Fortunski went on to win, we could be looking back on rack 5 as the pivotal moment. Equally so, if Tkach emerges as the winner. This could be seen as the big turning point. Looked for all the world like it was going 4-2, and Fortunski was going to be breaking on the hill in the next rack.
That's a good shot, perfect position onto the 9. Kristina to take the match to 3-all.
She's been behind 3 times. She's levelled 3 times. Fortunski 3, Tkach 3. The conclusion in just a moment.
Sporting events should not be held until there are no new cases.
Well, that's right up there with the no crowd, but who needs them? Just in terms of pure potting ability, he's just one of the best we've ever seen.
Oh my word. Incredible.
What a power-packed partnership it is. Start the engraving process.
Welcome back to Milton Keynes, where on day 4 we're watching one of the most intriguing and I have to say eventful matches of the week so far. Kristina Tkach, the 22-year-old from Moscow, has just levelled for the 3rd time with Mieszko Fortunski. He has the break in rack 7.
As you can see there, that little bit of extra power, the one ball's gone over the corner, and he's got a great open table here.
No dry breaks yet in the match, but only one break and run apiece. In fact, they were in the first 2 racks. Fortunski in the first, Tkach in the second, but a very good chance to change that statistic here.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mieszko to win this match. He's just lost the match before.
Yeah, that was against Alban Ocean. Did beat Kelly Fisher 5-0 earlier. And I think that match and this would be the two he'd be targeting the most in terms of trying to get some wins on the board. So if he gets to 2 wins out of 3, especially bearing in mind that he's had a 5-0 already, which helps a bit in the racks count back if it comes to that, you would say one more win might be enough.
Well, he's got to be a little bit careful here because this can go wrong. Personally, I'll be playing the 5 ball onto the 6 and trying to double kiss it into it. That way the 5 will stay over the pocket. That's a good shot there. Had to be a little bit careful. Nicely onto the 7 ball. On the correct side of it too, for the position to the 8.
Nothing Tkach could have done about it in this rack. But she will have the break in the next one. And she's getting to last chance time now. Because for the 4th time in the match, Mieszko Fortunski has gone 1 ahead. He's first to the hill at 4-3. Just news from the other table, Niels Fyen, who's had 1 win and 1 defeat so far, has taken the opening rack against Billy Thorpe, who's in the same position after his whitewash by Naoki Oi. His win came in his opening match against Kelly Fisher, who pushed him hard, finished 5-3 in the end. And here is Kelly Fisher, getting on with some practice there, because she will be next up on this table against Kristina Tkach. We have 3 women in the field, and this is the first time we've seen 2 of them playing each other.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one, Michael. And I think it'll also be the first time that 2 women have played each other in a Matchroom event.
Yeah, in any Matchroom event, yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
I think they played each other when they played the Mosconi many years ago. Probably going on 20 years ago when it first started.
Yeah, well, 94 was the first staging, and yeah, they did have head-to-heads between women in those. You know, Alison Fisher certainly played in the first one, but I guess since then, I think you're probably right. That'll be coming up in a moment, but first Tkach has to try and take care of business here. Big shot this for the young Russian.
Once again, very, very unfortunate not to have a easier chance at the 1. Don't even know if she can see the 1. I don't think she can. And does the 2 past the 8 ball. Hit the break good. Decided to draw the cue ball back this time because she knew the 1 ball was going towards the top rail. And if it had done, she would have been perfect.
You can really see the difference there from that overhead angle, that it's a much slower and more gentle break than any of the other players here.
Yeah, that's right, Michael, and it's a big disadvantage not being able to hit the break, and I think she's going to be in trouble again after this one. She's left a perfect angle for Mieszko to hit the 1 ball up and down the middle diamonds and put the cue ball right on the side cushion in behind the 3, 7 and 4.
She's responded every time to going behind by winning the next rack, but it's a whole new challenge now when it's getting close to the winning line, and there's a real chance she might actually win this match. How will she cope with that?
Well, he decided to go the other way, and that was the danger, that if he didn't get it, he was always going to leave this 1 ball. It's not an easy 1 ball, but it's makeable. And the cue ball will be running towards the 2.
Extension, please.
Is Kristina going to take this 1 ball on? I think she is. And that, once again, is so unfortunate. Great pot on the one ball. And she's just had no luck whatsoever there.
Yeah, and it was one of those shots where, to get position, she was going to need a bit of good fortune. Great bottle to make the pot. But what does she do now?
Well, I think she's got to come off the side rail where she's looking there with the toucher right spin and hit the bottom of the two, sending it up the table. Well, she's caught the middle of the two. Maybe okay. But she might not like her next shot.
2-0 now to Niels Fine on the other table against Billy Thorpe, although Thorpe at the table with a good chance to close to 2-1. Both players looking to make it 2 wins out of 3.
Well, Mieszko wouldn't have wanted the 2-ball that close to the pocket. The closer it got to the pocket, the easier it is to kick it in. And that's what Kristina is going to do. She's going to play the jump shot over the 7. Try and pot it. Needs to try and avoid going in off in the side pocket, but there's not much you can do really. You've got to make sure you hit this 2-ball. But the white is going to track towards that left-hand side pocket. Well, she's missed the pot.
It was the biggest shot of the match so far. It may well prove to have been her last.
And Billy Thorpe has just won his first rack of the match with Niels Fine. Niels leads that match 2 racks to 1.
Well, Thorpe had lost 7 racks in a row prior to that across 2 different matches. So that was much needed.
Mieszko was dicing with death there. I mean, he's just on that 3-ball. Why you would try and cannon the 7 is beyond me. I would have just left the ball short so you could cut the 3 in.
It's been that sort of match, hasn't it? Very little has been straightforward. Well, she's looking on knowing there may be nothing more she can do about this, but she's bound to feel so much better now. Okay, she'll be disappointed to have lost a match that she knows she could have won, but she hardly got a chance earlier on against Oy. She's had plenty of chances in this one. She's taken enough of them to be much more competitive, just not quite enough to win, it would seem.
One good shot here from Mieszko. Needs to pot the 4, bring the cue ball down towards the centre of the table. And if he can get it over to the right a bit more, that would be better. But anywhere in the centre of the table, he'll be happy. Played that with a lot of right-hand spin. Made the pot a bit more difficult, but now it's made the 7 easier. The 8's hanging over the corner, so it's all about this 7-ball.
Tkach's last hope. So it looks as though Fortunski, just halfway through the round-robin section, will already have as many wins as he got in the whole day yesterday. Looking to reach the knockout stage of the group for the 2nd time, having been a semi-finalist on Tuesday. Well, she couldn't repeat the trick for a 4th time and equalise once again.